What's all the scuttlebutt on Capitol Hill? Which one of these nominations is getting through? Which one isn't? How screwed up is Syria right now? I don't know the answer to any of these questions, but I bet Sean does. Joining me now, the host of the great Sean Spicer Show, my friend Sean Spicer. Okay, Sean, I love most of Trump's nominees. Some of them are just absolutely wretched, like that Surgeon General, but we don't have to get into that. But the really important ones like Pete Hegseth, they need to get through. We have to have these reforms. Who's going to make it and who's not, Sean?
So far, I don't see anybody not getting through. I say that because look, Jesse, just to put this in context so your viewers understand this. When Biden put forward his cabinet, not a single Democrat voted against a single nominee, not one. The only thing that's keeping any of these nominees back are other Republicans. Remember, we have a 53-seat majority. We shouldn't even be having this discussion. The president's putting forward very qualified people to execute his agenda. And barring anything that's, revelationary or, coming soon, there's no reason he shouldn't get it. And so they gave all of these morons in the Biden cabinet their spot who were not qualified. Excuse me. I don't know why we're even having these conversations among the Republican conference. The people that President Trump has put forward. Because they're a bunch of babies. I mean, we are. Because look at Pete Hegseth. 2 Bronze Stars, 3 tours, Gitmo, Afghanistan, Iraq, educated at Princeton and Harvard. I mean, maybe that we should hold against him, frankly. The only thing I have against is Pete is that he went into the Army. I mean, he's clearly, could have joined you and I as but honestly, the notion that he's not qualified is something that someone in Washington says. I get that he actually might want to have the Pentagon pass an audit for the first time in 8 years. I get that he might challenge the status quo. I get that he might focus on readiness and war fighting and get away from DEI and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is, this is insane. The idea that we're questioning the qualifications of these guys, because the dirty little secret is it's not about qualification. It's about whether or not they buy into a woke ideology. And as long as that's your standard, the media and the left will give you a pass. I brought this up before, Jesse. Dennis McDonough, the current Secretary of Veterans Affairs, never served in the military, never worked with a veteran service organization. He never, as far as I know, gave out mortgages or health care, the 2 top services of the VA. Pete Buttigieg was mayor of South Bend, Indiana, that had a total of 66 buses. And yet these people were somehow qualified to run these departments. Give me a break.
Okay, Sean, so walk me through the thinking when you have a Joni Ernst type, because this is what I've said, and you can speak to the accuracy or not, that the American people wanted reforms. They wanted Trump-style reforms. They want the Trump agenda very clearly. The country spoke loudly. But a lot of Republicans, especially the long-established ones in the United States Senate, see themselves as protectors of the system, not reformers. And so any thought of a reformer, they're actually going to join the other team. Am I wrong?
Yeah, there's something to that they're afraid of the status quo. I get the current secretary of this or that gives me and make sure that my state gets taken care of for whatever commitments that I've gotten out of them during their confirmation. But the larger point is this. The President Trump got elected. It's his agenda, not theirs. And so I'm willing to give some of these other people that I might not wholeheartedly agree with a pass, as long as they're agreeing and understanding that they're buying into enacting President Trump's agenda, not their own, right? So that's the other thing that these senators have to understand, that it's not so-and-so's agenda or so-and-so's policies that matter. It's whether or not President Trump has a problem. And that's what they should be asking questions about, is what does President Trump want to do about this? What does President Trump think about this? Because in the case of Pete Hegseth, he's made it very clear that his number one job is to execute the America First policy and keep our country safe. That's it, full stop.
Sean, walk me through why Trump has improved so drastically personnel-wise. We don't have to rehash the old stuff. You and I have had this conversation many, many, many times before. It's like a different person. It's like a different organization. It's just winner after winner after winner. Again, a couple I may not like, but it's very clearly a professional operation of people who support his agenda. Who do we have to thank for that?
We have him to thank for it. I mean, look, I admit, you look back in 2016, he had never served in office before. He didn't have a cadre of folks. He wasn't a former governor or senator that could call this team into action. But to answer your question fundamentally, it's sort of like when a sports team plays another team for the second time, and they've seen the other team's players and the matchups, and they go, okay, we know that when so-and-so goes this way, we go that way. We know their vulnerabilities. We know their strengths. And Trump now knows these are the three things. He knows the people, the policies, and the processes to get things done. And that's the big difference this time. I've said this before, Jesse. Most administrations take 3-4 months to get up to speed. He's going to need about 3 seconds because they know the right people. And it's not just the people that are getting brought in. It's the people that aren't getting brought in. So you're not bringing in an Omarosa and wondering why things aren't working, right? Trump this time knows I need this person to do this job to enact this policy.
Sean, Syria, actually, I could expand this way beyond Syria, but Syria, Ukraine, other parts of the world, it's very obvious to anyone paying attention that the current administration, the Biden administration, if we're still calling it that, they're trying to get America as locked into certain places as they possibly can before Donald Trump can get in there and actually try to fix things. How successful are they going to be? He can only do what he can do. He's not a god.
Well, to your first point, I think we should just call it the administration because I'm really not sure who's running things. It's the administration. And I think that they're going to try to commit the U.S. to certain things, but I don't think they're going to be successful. I really don't. I think that Trump will undo, he gets back to 4 years wiser. They can't hide things like they did last time because he now knows exactly where to look and to how to start on the right foot. So unlike last time where there were some things, there was a learning curve, this time he comes in day one ready to go. And so any kind of shenanigans like that are going to get undone as quick as they were put in.
Sean, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.